What you thinking, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father like is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, the men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband. And stuff like that.
Zan, which Speak on It podcast 2K24. Some edition, of course. I am your host, DJ Black. Busy week doing what it do. Man, you know, we're gonna jump right on in this thing. Stirred up a little controversy. Touchy subject. But it is what it is. And I'm gonna speak my truth on it. But before I get started, I'm just gonna speak on one little in the news trending type of topic. All right, hold on a moment. Let's see here. All righty, as y'all know, the election is coming. Kamala Harris did her rally last night and coming to the stage to announce their support and letting you know who they're endorsing. Were the Obamas. Okay. Now, whether I thought this election was going to go one-sided and be kind of like a landslide, but it's something about them damn Obamas when they stepped up there and did their thing. You know, they got the crowd into it, record numbers, you know, and the Obamas stepped up and they showed out. The only thing that I didn't like about the one of the main things that I didn't like that they should have done, I could have done, if defending Kamala Harris, was they just kept saying that nobody's perfect. Okay. The speech should have been addressing her shortcomings in the Bay Area, you know, when she was over in San Francisco, and because that's the main thing that's slandering her. And if they would have came, I just felt like if they would have spoke more on inexperience, showed her growth, it would have had a slightly bigger impact than nobody's perfect. But you know, but people showed up in record numbers, and y'all already know Michelle Obama is like the queen of motivational speeches. So she stepped out there, lit it up. Then Obama came and added a little humor behind it, you know, like he do. And I feel like this election is going to be a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was thinking landslide, but thinking it's going to be kind of like a dog fight. So I'm thinking that people are going to, according to what I saw last night, if that's any indication of what's to come, if they actually get out and vote, her story may be made instead of his story. So I think most people are going to go for making history, which is her story, instead of his story, which is the Trump. So it's interesting now, you know what I'm saying? So whoever you're going for, man, y'all better get out there and vote, because this one is going to be a deep one. But here's a little of what Michelle was saying. Just keep it.
Kamala has shown her allegiance to this nation, not by spewing anger and bitterness, but by living a life of service and always pushing the doors of opportunity open to others. She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. If we bankrupt a business or choke in a crisis, we don't get a second, third, or fourth chance. If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No. We put our heads down. We get to work. In America, we do something. And throughout her entire life, that's what we've seen from Kamala Harris.
So they endorsed her last night, record numbers, record crowd. And the way she was describing Trump, you know, you see a mountain, you don't have an elevator waiting there to take you to the top. That's who I want on my team, to be honest with you. Somebody that's going to make it easy. So it just depends on how you view that. But I guess it's going to boil down to the lesser, you know, of the two evils, I guess. But a woman leading the country is going to be something different, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So right now I'm kind of mixed on that whole kind of situation right there. So but yeah, that was my little intro, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the topic tonight. I don't want to be on here forever, but I'm gonna jump on this topic and just to see where the people heads at, and I'm gonna voice my opinion on it. Topic of the evening is: should men in committed, and notice that word committed, relationships have a say-so on what their women wear out in public? Okay, that's the topic. Should your man be able to say, "Hey, babe, not tonight. Let's not wear that tonight." You on your way out the door with friends, and he say, "Hey, let me see, you know, or before you go," he say, "Hey, let me see your attire." You know, is there something wrong with that? Should he have say so on what his woman wear out in public? That's the question. Do you have a say so? And of course, the singles see it one way. The independent women that's been taking care of themselves, that either have a live-in boyfriend or dating, they see it another way. Then you have some of the new modern day wives that see it another way as well. And it's kind of whatever works, you know, 'cause at the end of the day, we do all this and then we come back and say, but it's whatever that works best in your household and that works best for you. You know, that's what that's what we're trained to say. Um, and then we're away from traditional. Everybody going away from traditional. So that's an issue also. Let's see, click link to. I'm gonna put the link in the bottom in case somebody want to come on and voice their opinion on tonight's topic. Link about to join the panel live. Okay. And right. So yeah, what's your opinion on that? I wouldn't mind hearing from the single lady, because they were going back and forth last night. They were going back and forth. And it got interesting. It got a little heated, but for the most part, it got interesting. Watching them go back and forth, Shannon and Lonnie, and then my man David put some interesting thoughts in there as well. So I don't know if they're going to come on here and have a debate tonight, but that's the topic. Should she be able to throw on just anything and go out there? So we're going to know. I'm going to voice my opinion, of course, but it's an open discussion. There's really no, there's really no right or wrong answer. On this topic. I mean, it can be though, but I'm going to kick it off with, I guess, a video. And let's see.
Does a man have a say on whether or not his woman can come out dressed a certain way or what she wears?
My husband could say to me, oh, I don't think that's the dress I'd like for you to wear, because though it looks good, it looks too good. And only I should be privy to what looks too good on you.
So this has become a topic in recently on like social media. Do men have the right to say, if they're in a relationship, what a woman wears and how she goes out, how she presents herself? And I say to a degree, yes, because the things you wear make you a representation of your man, right? If you're in a relationship with me and you go outside, people are going to know that you represent me. So when they see you, they're going to see me. So that image is very important because I take my image very seriously. And I'm never going to take a woman seriously if she doesn't take that aspect of the relationship seriously.
Okay. And I feel where he was going on that. But a lot of women don't see it like that. And like they say, they're dressing sexy for themselves. Women really dress sometimes to outdo other women. So a lot of times it's not for attention from a man. A lot of times, the single ones, yeah. The ones that's flirty, yeah. But a lot of times women dress to outdress other women, or they'll see somebody wearing something and they feel like they'll look better in it. And so the first chance they get to rock that fashion, that's what they want to do. But when you're in a committed relationship, and that depends on, to me, how committed, how invested, and how you guys actually really respect each other. Depends on, I feel like, what you're entitled to say or inquire about how they dress. Because we hear all of it about they're grown, they do what they want, how about the clothes, you're not going to tell me how to dress. Those are the ones that don't 100% respect the man that they're with. They either see you as a beta or something, or a simp. I just feel like respect, so respect goes a long way. And I seen that on a post also, under the comments that was on there. You guys need to stop dating for popularity, looks, and all of that, and find you someone who respect you as a person. You know what I'm saying? Respect what you stand for. And that's really what it's going to boil down to. So if a woman respect you, chances of you having to comment or check her on her attire is going to be, is not going to be that often. but it comes with respect. Here's another video, Pete.
Story time. When a man asks you to be his woman, he's asking also to be your protector, to look out for you, to cover you. So if your man tells you, don't wear that, don't wear it. He's not trying to control you. He's not really just trying to be your boss. He's trying to protect you. Now, you can't ask for a guy to give you provision and protection, and then you turn around and say, I can wear whatever I want. That is uncovered woman kind of talk. But if you got a man, he is your covering and he's watching out for you, do him a favor and listen to him. Just because they sell it in the store, just because they make it in your size, doesn't mean you should wear it, especially if your man asks you not to.
Okay. I feel that as well. But that goes back to what I said earlier. A lot of times women dress in a lot of the clothing because they've seen somebody else wear it. And they feel like, they'll look good in it. But, and it's not their fault, but in today's society, what you wear determines how majority of the men treat you. And so me personally, like I say, from coming out of the club background, I didn't care for club women, how they dress, how they act. That's just not a thing that I care to participate in. And so when I'm choosing my life partners, I don't look for club women. I don't look for women that dress revealing. They're not on my list of I must dates. So that's not what I do. But to each his own. Some men like they women. Like I know a guy who now lives in Houston. I think he's in Houston. And he like his girl coming to the club, wearing skimpy outfits, and he sits back. But he also get mad when the exes or different guys stay in her face at the club. She can't go get a drink. She can't go to the restroom without guys tugging on her or saying slick stuff while she's sitting at the bar, while she's at the bar ordering her drink. Somebody behind her saying stuff, or ex will go over to the bar when he see her walk over there. And so, and it's most of the time, like I said, it's the clothing, it's the attire. So if you dress a certain way and you're not dressing for attention, let the man pull you down and ask you your name off of a natural appearance, not the skimpy, the revealing clothes. That's not what.
But I've had people like, whoa, you let your wife wear that? Or whoa, you let her? And I always go, first, I can't, first of all, I can't let her do anything. She's a grown woman.
That part.
Let's get that. I don't let and allow her. That is weird. She's a grown woman. Now, if it's something that I don't like and I tell her I don't like, she would then refrain from it out of respect.
Yeah. And so respect, just like I saw in the chat, respect goes a long way. So if that woman cares about you, it's respect. And when you do dress like that, ladies, it's not your fault that the men are perverted now. But if you're in a serious relationship and your mate suggests you not wear that, and like one of my other co-hosts was more like, it's if that man chooses to accept you and wants to be there for you, protect you, y'all grow together and all that, when you guys get together and start taking it serious, if he's a real man, his mindset is on, I'm going to have to provide, protect, you know what I'm saying? and be there. So with that in mind, that all falls under an investment. He's investing his time, feelings, emotions, money into this woman. And so with an investment comes concern. When you're invested in something, you're concerned. Your children, you're concerned. Your mates, you're going to be concerned. So being that, okay, especially if they're going to a club, alcohol, drugs, or whatever, people are not in their 100% normal right minds, because the ones who low self-esteem, that's trying to be something they're not, they're full of drugs. The ones who's going through things, mad at the girl or mad at the man, they're going through things. And so your appearance means a lot when dealing with in a relationship. So when your man, if he's a responsible man and a leader, someone who you trust, respect, honor, those are the men who I feel would say, hey, I don't think you should wear that out. But I also understand the single women or the women that's new in a relationship that may say that's insecure. And like I posted earlier, it's a thin line on this topic of men wanting you to wear something different when going out in public, or having some say so when you go out in public. It's a thin line between insecurity, controlling, and protecting. A thin line. And like I say, it depends on the mentality or the personality of the man that you're dating. And women even call the shots, on, hey, you sure you're gonna wear that? Because mine do it all the time. Once I get out the shower before I come on to the podcast, or sometimes on my way to the gym, she'll say, you wearing that to the gym? You wearing that tonight to the podcast? And then when she asks, I know that it's something she's not comfortable with me wearing, because I might just throw on a wife beater and come on here, and me working out, I got a nice little definition. And so she'll say, hey, you wearing that tonight? So I'm like, okay. So when she in there cooking or something and she needs some butter, and she have on those little tight rayon or whatever material that is that the women be wearing, look like they got it from either the dollar store, Fred's, or somewhere, but it had the flowers or some type of design on it that fits the thighs and stuff real tight. But I'm just going up there to get some butter. I'm like, you wearing that to the store? The same way she hit me with, you wearing that on the podcast? You wearing that to the gym? So out of respect, we tone it down. And so that's why I said on the previous podcast that when you're married, because being a boyfriend and being married is not the same thing. Being a live-in and then you somebody who actually married, those two different things. So, like I said on a previous podcast, when you're married, no, they're not your dad. No, she's not your mother. But yes, they have say so. So you turn to a kid again once you get married, per se, probably a teenager, because you have leeway, but it's certain things you can't do. We're able to go out, but we can stay as long as we wanted to once you're still living under mom and dad's roof. Okay. So when you're married, yeah, I'm grown. Yeah, and you're not my dad, you're not my mom. All of that is fine. But that person do have a say so on what's going on, how you spend your money, where you go. Same thing that you went through as a teenager living at home. So I feel like if you're not married, And I know a lot of people don't believe in marriage today. That I know. They don't really believe in it. They don't want so-called Uncle Sam, the government in their business. So they prolong these women who in junior high and high school had their idea of this dream wedding. But now everybody, well, we don't want the white man in our business. We don't want the government in our business. So we just gonna shack and live together with no ties. You know what I'm saying? And that woman can sit back and wait on whatever due diligence that common law gives them, or whatever she talked him into signing and providing, you know. But it's like a contract. When you get married, it's a contract. You just can't say, I don't like you no more, and pack your bags and leave. It's a contract. But with everybody saying they don't want the government in their business, and not getting that contract at the end of the day, if something were to happen, you don't have a leg to stand on. Classic example is what happened with DMX and his baby mom. Austin, what's happening with you? Man, I can't hear you. So you're gonna have to do what you do. Whatever you did last week, because I can't hear you. Nah. But so work on that while I finish chatting with them. But so yeah, my thing on that, if you're not married to them, I feel like you shouldn't have as much say so as a married person. And I was gonna post, and I probably still do it before the week out. Women, you gotta stop doing wifey duties as a girlfriend. He's never going to take it to the next step or the next level if he's getting everything. Like Big Mama used to say, why purchase the cow if you're getting the milk for free? And the main thing is to sell that cow, you know. But if I'm coming home and I'm able to get free milk, if I'm not going after beef, why purchase the cow if all I want is milk from it? So, and I think that's the reason why a lot of marriages aren't working, and why a lot of people you're getting the luxury of being in a committed relationship without actually committing, without actually submitting. So you're just playing house, no strings attached. Y'all can leave each other at any time. So that's just something to think about. And I know the guys like, man, don't say that, don't say that. I mean, I feel you. And the older cats used to preach to me because I didn't believe in the marriage thing, but they was like, man, let that woman go. Let her find somebody. If you ain't gonna marry her, let her find somebody who's gonna marry. You know, and so when you get older, you get wiser. But I just don't feel like, I don't care. And like my other co-hosts always say, if you driving her car, at the end of the day, that's her car. You living in her subsidized or Section 8 or whatever vouchered housing, that's her housing. Even if you living in her paying mortgage, that still belongs to her and not you. And she can put you out at any time. That's why I preach to the brothers, especially when I was the mentor. Get your own, have your own. And if you do choose to live with a woman or whatever, make sure your name on that lease too. Try to have that motherfucker on there first. You know, let you be the first one who signed, and she co-signed. You know, she on the second line. But because women, especially today with the social media being out there, you bound to come home and your stuff already packed, homie. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy out there. So at the end of the day, you have to protect yourself. And I understand you don't want the government in your business. None of us do. But at the end of the day, both of you all need to be seeking security. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can keep this. We just gonna shack and live together thing. You know what I'm saying? 50-50. But just imagine, just remember this. She's gonna run the show. Out of 10 things that y'all have an argument on, she's gonna win about 7, if not 8 of them. And she'll let you have that too because you do help with the bills. You know what I'm saying? But it's her crib, her car, So you can't walk around there and say, hey, I don't want you to wear this. She buying her own clothes. She buying her own clothes. And that's the first thing she's gonna say. I paid for this. That's what she's gonna say. You can't tell me what to wear. You didn't buy my clothes. I think I heard you that time when I came through. Say what's happening there.
What's going on with it? All right. Cool.
Okay. So I was just explaining to him when they're dating, I really don't feel like, especially if he's living with her, it's certain conditions. And even if let's just say she move in with him and they're dating, I really, until he put a ring on it, I mean, he can say it, but until he put a ring on it, I don't feel like it don't hold as much weight as a married person telling his wife, hey, I don't think you need to wear that. But especially if he's living with her and she's the breadwinner, and I'm just painting a scenario. I wouldn't, and I'm judging everything from what I feel. I wouldn't feel right telling her or suggesting you shouldn't wear that. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably be mad. You know what I'm saying? As fuck. But I feel like I really can't say nothing because shit, she make more money than me. I'm living in her crib. I'm driving her car. Or even if I had my own, if her car was better. But the fact that she has her own and able to buy her own clothes, and we're not married. So if she want to go out there and get an outfit she seen Sierra, Lil Kim, Sexy Red in with the little red booty shorts, and she want to go to Walmart on a busy Saturday at 12 o'clock, house shopping, it ain't too much I can say because I'm not married to her. I don't have, papers on. I'll just be sitting there, mad. But I mean, you can suggest that really bad. You gonna wear that? Yeah. What's wrong with this? And then what you gonna say to him? I don't want you wearing that, nigga. If you don't sit down, I bought this. You ain't got no money. So you ain't got no money. You can't show me no money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you ain't married, I don't feel like you really have too much of a say so. But on the other hand, if she was raised right and she believes in man being head of the household and the respect, she wouldn't wear that. You wouldn't have to worry about
it. How you gonna be the man of the household and he ain't providing helping in the house?
Some women were raised that if a man is in the house,
and we have to get away from all that because it says that. Well, I don't want to get into the Bible, but anyway, he's not the head of the household at that point because they're not married, number one. So he has no authority over her. That's the first thing. And second thing is he has to be over the household spiritually before he can be over the household as a man.
Well, okay, we say that, Austin. I thought about that too, because that was an interesting topic. for some reason they're not mentioning as God being head of the household. And I saw a post the other day where a lady asked, has God been removed from the relationships and removed from being, head of the household, and they're wanting a God-fearing man. But a lot of people they're not going to, the newer generation not going to church. They were raised in the church. They're not feeling the church. So finding a God-fearing man is becoming scarce these days. And tradition wants a God-fearing man, but modern is like
just want a man.
Want a man. We're gonna make ends meet. The sex is good. The money is good. You look good, and they're diving in and they're trying to make it work, which you may say also contributes to why the divorce rate is where it's at. You don't have that God fearing. So the vows aren't nothing. Just like we talked about, what was that, about a week or two ago, when the lady was like, for richer off or poor, and she paused and was like, we didn't discuss that. So it's not about the covenant. It's not about religion. Doesn't play a part in choosing a mate anymore.
Well, I mean, religion shouldn't, but your belief in God should.
Yeah.
And what you're following, I mean, religion, that's a whole different topic. But if you believe in a higher power and you call it God or whatever it is to you,
the creator,
God, whatever, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, and whatever
Jehovah,
it is to you,
God.
all that.
Right.
So whatever you want to call it,
okay.
If you believe in that and you believe in the book that all of the information has been put in, then that's what you're gonna follow. But I mean, if a person is religious and they follow the doctrine of the church and then they follow the doctrine of what's been placed in the book, then it also talks about dress in there. So, depending on what you want to follow. But back to what we were saying, if you're in the household, you're not married, no, you really truly don't have a lot of say so about what that person does or does not do, because you are not sharing a true spiritual matrimonial walk. You have no true ties to whoever you're with. So you really don't have say so. You can suggest, you can ask based on the respect of the relationship.
Right.
But do they have to comply? No.
Okay. Yeah. Now you hit that on the head. And I've seen both sides. Man move in house. He the breadwinner. He moves in her house. And he's making sure the bills are, the big bills are met. Rent, car notes, car insurance. She paid cable, internet, and maybe phone. And she respects him. But those are women that came from traditional backgrounds.
But
before they had the opportunities that the women have today.
The thing is, people get caught up on what bills being paid, this, that, and money, and this, that, and whatnot. That's not what creates the security in a relationship. The security in a relationship is built on you being there for them emotionally. Now, if you just want security of money or some security of material good, then that's what you go for.
Remember, it was a heated argument because you always hit that part. And it was a big heated argument, and that contributed to us getting different co-hosts, because you brought up being there for emotional support, which a lady did come on the podcast later and back your story up, saying I make my own money, so I don't need a man for money. I need somebody when I go home to listen to me, talk to me, the massages, the little intimate things. But he was strong on, okay, you come in there with emotional support if you want to. You got to have money to do this and do that. But then the lady who makes her own money came in there and backed you up. So that I have to agree with you on that, because that night I stayed out of it because it was kind of a mixed kind of situation, and then you didn't say that the man didn't have money. You just said that he's there for emotional support and she's not hounding him for money. So whether she's making 150,000, whether he's making 180,000, she's not asking him for money. She's with him because she makes her own money. She's living comfortable within her means. But she did say, I need, when I come home, it's nice to have someone who can listen to me, who can give me advice, who I can tell my day to, who I can unwind. And I was like, okay, so you you won that. You won that one. Because I was just sitting back like, man, it's kind of getting heated and y'all were going back and forth. But he was caught on women saying you need a job if you want to be with me. Okay. And women would tell him, in order for us to date, you need to pay my bills. Okay. And I see that shit on TikTok. And like I said on that episode, I never met a woman who even fixed her lips to say that shit to me.
Well, here's the difference. So when a woman says you need to pay my bills, you need to do this to be with me and do that to be with me, then they see something in you that they don't really respect or don't really care for, but you serve a purpose. So this is where a relationship is built on purpose and not on emotion.
Right.
So you serve a purpose for them. They're not looking to be in it with you long term. You're fulfilling a role. So
right.
and that's what you do.
Speaking of purpose, I'm on here, so I might be going in and out. But her purpose is she's in school, but the purpose is to keep the plates coming, help the kids with the homework, stay loyal. She cooks. So you have to date with a purpose. So I kind of feel what you're saying, and all our purposes are different, and
they change.
And they change. And just like you were saying last week, in a relationship, when I brought up the other people, I understood them when they say they outgrew their mate. And then you put emphasis on, when you're in a relationship, you're gonna grow. You get what I'm saying? We don't just enter that relationship the way we go through the relationship. The way you enter that relationship, you may be thinking one way. But as you grow within that relationship, you may have a totally different thought process on how things run. I know I did, because I thought the way the older cats taught me that I listened to was the way to go. But once I get in a relationship, a serious dating relationship, I see things different. Just like you was preaching a long time ago, that the way we enter a relationship, you're going to grow in that relationship. We can't expect that person to remain the same as they were when we met them 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because they're going to change. They're going to mature. They're going to eliminate people. They're going to meet new people. Their attitudes are going to adjust. Things that they thought was important may turn into, it's just a thing now. So you have to enter relationships expecting a change. Many of them say, well, he didn't grow or she didn't grow, so it didn't work. I feel like if you really wanted that person to be in your life, you would have tried to get them to grow with you. That's just how, and I may be wrong.
No, I mean, for instance, I used to be into name brand stuff, right? When I was younger. But as I started to see where my money was going, just to have a brand of someone else on my body, you know what I'm saying? I'm continuously making them rich by spending, $4, $5, $6, $700 or whatever,
On a
and
shirt.
then, yeah, on shirt, pants, shoes, or whatever. And then I got a wife that's want to spend $2, $3, $4,000 on a purse, just to wear a label. That made no sense to me after a while, and I had to change that up because I was like, we could be putting this money somewhere else to make money. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I ended up losing quite a bit of money, but it didn't hurt me as bad because I wasn't spending like I used to spend, right? On insignificant things. So you have to understand your where your priorities lie, and make having an understanding of what you need, what's grown.
All right, now.
Do you want to front for everybody else, or do you want to make your money work for you?
Okay, since you're saying that, now let's go back to what I tried to say on the other podcast. Would you consider that outgrowing each other? Let's just say you educated yourself and you figure, why am I wasting all this money on this designer just to look good for somebody else when I could be applying this money, bringing it to the household so me and my woman can be doing extra this, whether it's investing in rental property, whether it's investing in stock or whatever. If she still wants the Gucci bags and you're saying that I'd rather put this money into rental property, would you consider that we outgrew each other because you were into the designers and now you say, well, I'm not with the design anymore, and and it became stagnant, and then you get out of it, but she still wants the Gucci purse, she still wants the $3,000 earrings and all that crap, when it could be going towards something that can generate money.
No, I don't consider that outgrowing each other. I consider that as having different priorities. So you still have your individuality in a marriage or in a relationship, but then you're gonna have to compromise. That's where you start having understandings, and you have to communicate to compromise on certain things. All right, babe, I know you want these Gucci earrings. That's $1,500, but why don't we do this, and then let's do this, and then you can get those next month. So you have to compromise. I have this thing coming up, and this is gonna make us X amount of dollars. So let's put this towards this, and then let's get your earrings next month or in 2 months. Is that okay?
So you improvise.
Yeah, you compromise, and so the thing is, if she or he supports your dream and your goals, and they trust you, then they know that material thing is going to still be there when they go back to get it, right? So they don't need it right away. They don't need it tomorrow. I mean, it's a material good, right?
Right.
So it's going to be there. Hell, it might be on sale when you go back. Well, Gucci don't really go on sale, but but it's going to be there. So if they support you, they'll be like, all right, babe, I understand what you're saying. let's go ahead. You can go ahead and do what you need to do right now, and I'll put this on the back burner and I'll get this later, right? But then it's going to be a time when they want something, and you're going to have to put something on the back burner. Okay, well, I wanted to do this, but you know what? You sacrificed last time, so let's go ahead and do what you want, and this will still be here, and I can do this next month or the month after, or whatever the time frame is. So it's all about communication, compromising, but that's people get outgrowing each other and having
or being selfish,
having a difference in opinion,
right?
Having different priorities, because you still have your priorities and goals as an individual, and you have your priorities and goals as a couple, right? Now, when your priorities and goals as a couple is compromised, then that's when you're going to start developing issues. So say that, that you like to stay home, but she likes to go to the club every weekend, right? So that shows that you all are in a that doesn't do anything, and it's gonna sound like I'm talking, I'm saying talking with a double, not a double standard, that's not the word I want to use, but I'm contradicting what I was stating as far as priorities versus growing apart or whatever, right? Because here now we're talking about two totally different mindsets, right? Now we're talking about you all are not on the same growth track, right? Because you want to go spend all your time in the club with your friends and pop bottles and this, that, and whatnot, but you have priorities at home, which is your husband or your wife and or kids, if there are kids in the picture. So that compromises the couple relationship. That compromises your commitment to your growth in a relationship.
Right.
So, and I think that's where people start feeling like they're growing apart. But again, coming back with communication and trying to understand what this person's mindset is. Maybe you can compromise on that. Hey, why not? Don't go so much. And when we go, I'll go with you. We can go together. We can go. We can use this as our couple time. So you just have to figure out how to spend that and how to use that. And then if they're stating that nope, that's not what I want to do, I'd rather be with my boys, I'd rather be with my girls, then you're not doing anything to strengthen our relationship. You're not doing anything to help us grow in our relationship. Now, I understand there are times when you want to be with your friends and them with their friends, but there should also be times when you all have couple friends and you all are together with your couple friends. And then looking at the frequency, you have to identify the frequency on how you all are going to do that. Everything has to be a discussion and a compromise on how you're going to continue to build your relationship, where in most cases it's going to be you and that person, or should be you and that person. So that's the thing with that.
Especially when you're married. And so, like this guy said up here, people he said.
Can a boyfriend tell his girlfriend what to wear? Several months ago, I watched this viral video of a famous female celebrity who was out dancing with another celebrity, and her boyfriend has something to say about her outfit, and the internet just went crazy over it. So the controversy is this: does he actually have a right to tell his girlfriend what to wear in public? Well, the answer is no, he doesn't. This is the problem with today's dating relationships. People are treating their dating relationships like they're in a marriage. In a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you don't have a right to dictate what a person wears or doesn't wear. As husband and wives, we have a right to speak into our spouse's life about where they go, what they wear. My wife can say, hey, Amos, I don't want you to go here. Amos, I don't want you to wear that. She can do that because she's my wife. She can't do that if she's my girlfriend. So reduce the confusion and keep the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship in its proper place.
Yeah.
And so with him saying that, that's what made me see when you're married, you have a little bit more leeway than you would if you just trying to tell a single woman, hey, I don't want you wearing that. Especially if you're dating someone who thrive on, I bought this, you can't tell me anything.
You have people like that in a marriage. And again, that's when you have two different mindsets like that, when you all can't listen to each other, when you all can't compromise, then that's can be looked at as growing apart.
Right.
Because you all can't communicate. There's no coming together. There's no understanding. So if I ask my wife not to wear something, or tell my wife not to wear something, then she's gonna respect that, and vice versa. She's told me, nope, you can't wear those. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I said that earlier because certain gym attire, she don't care for me to wear. Certain shirts I want to just come on here because I'm fresh out the tub, I'm chilling. She like, so you wearing that? So like I said earlier, when she trying to run to the store and them little fitted tights talking about I'm just going to go get some butt, I'm like, you wearing that to the store? You know what I'm saying? So when you that's why I said on a previous podcast, when you're married, no, they're not your mother, no, he's not your father, but they have say so on what you do in your life once you're committed to them.
Yeah. And people look at marriage like ownership. It's not ownership. It's not ownership. It's actually you all being one. So they're looking out for you like they would look out for themselves. Right? So it's not me telling you what to do. It's me saying that I'm not going to do that. So I'm asking you not to do that.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And sometimes it's reinforcement, because what I see is harmless. Me coming on here with a wife beater on and just sitting down, chopping it up. To me, that's harmless. But if she say, so you're going to be wearing that, you know what I'm saying? So the biggest part of being in a committed relationship in marriage that you respect is learning how to respect their feelings, how they feel about something, because that was the hardest thing to me. Things that I saw was harmless was like, oh my God, it's the worst thing to her. And I'm like, I don't get it. And for a minute, that was our biggest plague is I didn't understand what was so bad about things I'm doing, because I knew I wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, and I can understand that, but
I ain't doing this. This ain't nobody.
Yeah, but
you can read the text and go through it, but she was basing everything on principles. So
yeah. I mean, there isn't anything that my wife can tell me that I would question. If she asks me something or she feels offended by something,
yeah,
then I respect that. Because I respect our covenant. Now, before, I just didn't care. I did what I want to. You can pitch your bitch and say whatever you want to say,
Yeah,
do
you'll
whatever
be
you
all
want
right.
to do. Yeah, I wasn't worried about it. But because I respect who I'm with, I respect my marriage, then I I don't question what she asked me to do or not to do.
And that's what I had to grow into. And one day, it was early in the morning, like 5, 6 in the morning. I had dropped her brother off at work. He was down here living with us. And I was cruising. And then Steve Harvey was on the radio. And so Steve Harvey said a guy called up there with a complaint. And Steve Harvey advised to him. He was like, well, hell, I don't give a shit. If she say she don't like it, that's the end of that. And he was like, but I'm not doing nothing. He was like, when you're in a marriage, whatever your mate don't like, and she tell you to stop, that's a wrap. And and I'm sitting there listening like, shit, man, that's crazy. But when you're in a committed relationship, you've taken that covenant, and you're married. Marriage means a lot. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, it's a forever relationship that you're committed to or building with this person. So I had to learn that it wasn't about me. So my thing was, it's harmless. I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. You can go through the phone, but it wasn't none of that. It was the principle. I told you I used to text, get your sexy ass up and go put them flyers out. Them people that know me, they ain't nobody but black. You know what I'm saying? But her reading that, she seen it totally different. And at first, when I tell you, I used to flicker. I was that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't get it. This is what I was doing. This is how I make my money. I'm a DJ. I'm a promoter. And I'm just saying that it's nothing to that. I'm just saying that to motivate her to get up and go do what I need her to do. But she didn't see it like that. And so I had to learn that relationships are give and take. So that's why when you hear me say it's work, it was work because I was so used to being independent and doing what I want to do. But just like the guy said on the podcast last week, when, like you said last week on the podcast, that when you love someone, you'll change. You see what I'm saying? You'll change. What she say? I'm old school.
Men and women have roles. Steve Harvey's a simp.
I didn't get that. What did you get out of that? You can learn something from a baby. So, but that stood out though when he said, well, I mean, I get it's kind of what he's saying, old school. But when you're married and like Austin say, and Mac Lovin 44, it's all about once you're married and in a committed relationship. I wonder, is Mac Lovin 44 married? But the deal is, if my wife don't like the way I'm texting somebody, or feel like my choice of words could lead somewhere else, or her complaint was it's showing a form of disrespect. So when that person see her with me, they may not give her the same respect because I called them sexy, or I'll say give her beautiful.
Yeah, boom. Because what she was probably thinking was, okay, so if you're promoting them as sexy, or you're promoting to them that they're beautiful, then they feel like you see them that way. So those adjectives that you were using to describe them, they may take that into their emotions.
And that's like, exactly what she was saying. But I'm like, them people been knowing me forever. They know I ain't shit. You just don't know yet now. But they knew that, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't know. So I had to respect that, but that was one of the biggest things. So yeah, Steve Harvey may be what most call a simp, and I don't agree with everything he does. Just like I listen to Minister Farrakhan, but I don't agree with everything that he says. I may agree with 80%, you know. And speaking of the minister, this is with the people saying you're being controlling if you suggest that your woman don't wear anything. You know, don't wear this out. You know, hey, I don't like that outfit. Oh, you being controlling, you're a narcissist. But this is what he said. I think this also relates to being in a marriage and not just playing house. People.
You cannot protect what you cannot control. Wait now. Sisters, when I use the word control, that makes you upset sometimes because you don't want nobody to control you. But no man can protect what he cannot control. Now, you don't have to be a control freak, because she has a right to rebel against ignorance that masquerades itself in the form of a controller. Yeah, I gotta set a balance here. Otherwise, after this lecture's over, some nut is gonna go home and say, see, I got to control what's going on up in here. But I say this, a woman will submit to you if you demonstrate the wisdom that allows them to see it, and they submit to it. Then the wisdom is the controlling influence, not you personally.
So you have to show them that you're capable of being a leader, and she'll let you lead. You know, and a lot of our men are falling short of that. Today's men are falling short of that.
You know, I guess I can see how some people get out of control with control, because some people think, well, think old school means that you have to rule with a iron fist in your relationship and marriage. And that's not how marriage is supposed to be designed. You can be old school and believe that, yeah, and believe that men and women have roles based on their gender, right? But in a lot of marriages or relationships, those roles can be intertwined with
they're often
the genders.
reversed.
Yeah, so I mean, there are times when I cook, there are times when my wife cooks. There are times when I clean, there are times when my wife cleans. So depending on what you're referring to as gender roles and being old school, you know what I'm saying? You know, it just depends on and that's how certain things can fall into areas that you don't want it to.
And yeah, I'm curious to hear what old school necessarily mean. I mean, because I'm traditional. I guess what Babyface said, he a little old school, and that's just his way or something. I'm old school. I like tradition. But I'm not opposed to change or the modern day movement. I understand it all. You know, I'm in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I'm you know, a lot of people when they talk about these gender roles being a certain way, then some of them have fear of losing what they have because they know that they shouldn't be in that particular situation. So they feel like they have to control that situation in a way um that causes fear because they have to rule with that iron fist or that iron hand. So if you're one of those people, then yeah, I can. That's how control gets out of hand.
And when they say, when you say with the iron fist, you're saying that super controlling, Ike Turner.
Right. I'm telling you exactly what to do, when you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to be in this kitchen barefoot and pregnant. And that's your role. You can't go outside the house. You can't earn money. So and those type of things. Did I lose you?
So I guess he's saying the modern women don't submit, or like you say, they do away with gender roles. You know, well, mine kind of traditional. She like being in the kitchen. She like helping the kids with homework. You know, but like I say, we take turns, and but she does it mostly. So I mean, and that kind of keeps everything going. If everybody being masculine, she out there changing oil on a regular basis. I'm in here with the apron on, cooking, you know, and everything on a regular basis. Like we say at the end of each podcast, to whatever makes your household run. But we enjoy somewhat of gender roles, but we are not to the point where we can't or are afraid to do those roles ourselves.
Right. Hell, your girl might have gone to school to be a mechanic, so she may be able to work on a car better than you. You know, does that mean that you're less of a man? No, that means that she had a skill set that you don't have. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
you may
now,
have gone to
I can fix
to
a car.
culinary
I can
school.
change it. I can fix a car. They got
I'm just
YouTube
saying.
now.
You
So
know,
no,
you may have gone to
She-
culinary school and you may like cooking. You may be a chef. So, and your wife can boil water. You know,
that's
does
how it
that make
was
her
when we met.
does it make her less than a woman? No, that means that you picked up some training that she did not. So that shouldn't those roles are sometime again reversed or blurred.
Yeah, she and speaking of the cooking thing, yeah, I used to do all the cooking, but the last maybe 3 years, she got more into cooking. She was like, okay, let me try this and I'm gonna try that, and now she loves it. It calms her and all that. But that was my thing. I was the cook.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a better cook than my wife, but you know,
I see
that's
you
just
got
the way
that
it is.
screen off.
Well, that's cause I'm doing uh, a
Fatherly
reversal
duty.
of gender role. I got my baby girl, you know, and she wants to be in the camera, but I don't want her to be in the camera right now.
But
So
yeah, that wife looking upside your head because you know you can't cook better than her.
no, she know.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean there are certain things that she can cook better than me, and certain things I cook better than her, and that's just the way it is. So
So yeah, well, I kind of believe in the you know, I'm cool with the gender role thing. And I got used to when you're married, like I said on the previous podcast, it's not about me, I, my. That turned into us, we, and our. So once I got that down, I feel like I became an overall better person, especially when it came to this dating thing. And when it came to dating, when it came to marriage, I felt like that was my turning point.
Yeah, and when you become, right, when you're no longer selfish, when you are now selfless, then those things really don't matter to you. It doesn't matter, you know, who makes the most money. It doesn't matter um, who does the cooking. It doesn't matter who's taking care of the baby, right? Because you have to work together to make your household function, right? So there are things that you're gonna do, and there are things that she's gonna do that may look like gender role reversal, or what traditional gender roles are supposed to be like. But that doesn't make either one of you all less than what you're supposed to be or less than what you are. It just means that you work together to make your house.
Whatever makes it work for the household.
Right.
Like you said, whether it's tradition, which, a lot of the moderns fight against tradition. But I mix it up a little bit here. We do a little of everything.
Yeah, and that's how we do. So again, it's whatever makes your household work. But if you're out there, you know, I think we had someone that was saying that they didn't want their person to work, so they out there working 3 and 4 jobs. Then how's that doing the household any good?
If you're never there.
Exactly. So that
I
makes
know
no
what you're talking about.
sense. Yeah, so that makes no sense to me. But
Yeah, he said that you should work 3 and 4 jobs, and if she has a job, her money should be spent on whatever she wants to spend it on.
Right.
Whether it's hair, nails, bags, she shouldn't contribute anything to the household because that's your job.
Right. That doesn't make sense to me. But, it doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense to them. And if it makes sense to them and they find someone with that same mindset, then hey, that's good for them.
And
They
like I
can make
said,
it
I
work.
got no problem if I'm gonna pay a majority of the bills. But I'd be damned if you spending your money on some goddamn weave, nails, bags, what they call that, cookies, and all that shit in the street, and then I'm busting my ass just to pay the bills. I have an issue with that. If I was in that situation, like the guy said, her money should go on whatever she wants it to. She shouldn't help contribute to the household. So that's really crazy to me.
So
You making some money.
How's that helping build the household?
He just say that woman's supposed to live by whatever means that you have. And her money that she makes shouldn't help you with no bills or nothing. She should be able to go and buy whatever she wants: food, hair, smoke, alcohol, get her nails done every 2 weeks, buy $400 or $500, $1,000 wigs, while you busting your ass trying to meet the mortgage or the car note.
Yeah, again, that makes no sense to me.
Yep.
Why am I
Yeah.
working myself to death? And part of being in a marriage is contributing as a partner. And I don't mean just as a partner financially. I mean as a partner within being, again, their emotional support, their their friend, and all of those things that are incorporated into a marriage. So I don't understand how you working 180 hours a week and not being there for your spouse or your children, how that's contributing to the household.
Most people that say that are not in a relationship, a contributionship. They're not living with a woman. They're speculating off of what they seen or heard dad, granddad, and great granddad do. Are there friends that came from that type of household where the man took care of everything? Now, it's good for a man to be able to do that. And like McLovin 44 say, yeah, a lot of women do. I've ran across hate for men to just tell it like it is. But we're the Like It Is podcast. I know on my behalf, I'm gonna tell it like it is, like I see it. And just like I get the men who, because I seen dad do it, I seen big dad do it, I seen my brothers, older brothers do it. And I don't necessarily 100% require a 50-50, you know, it's 100-100. If she says she's gonna get this and she wants to contribute to that, she can. But if she can't, I'm gonna make sure that it's still running smooth. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make sure that my living is maintained where if something were to happen, you know what I'm saying, I'm still able to maintain everything. And that's simply because I refuse to be in a relationship where I need someone else, and this business ship as well, where I need someone else to keep me going the way I want to be going. So I'm going to make sure no matter what I'm doing, where I'm at, that I'm comfortable and able to maintain my comfortable lifestyle, you know, our business style. And so because that's shaky ground when you're sitting there stuck in a relationship because you got in a relationship because it's a business ship, and you guys got the Lexus and the Jaguars and the Audis and the $1 million house, and y'all together to maintain those bills, to keep that lifestyle.
Yeah,
and I don't believe in that.
Okay. So men and women aren't equal. Men and women aren't partners in a marriage. So that's what you're saying. So partnership doesn't always have to be equal. You have a majority owner, you have a minority owner. So it doesn't mean that you have equal standings, but within that majority and minority ownership or partnership, then you respect whatever the other one brings to the partnership. So it takes the partnership. It takes both to run whatever it is, whether it's a business or whether it's a household. So again, it doesn't have to be equal, but you're still partners.
All right. And partnership, like I have to kind of agree with what Austin said. It's what someone else is contributing. So they didn't say 50-50 partner. They didn't say 100-100 partner. They just said the key is when marriage is a partnership because you're not by yourself. You're in it with someone.
Now you can treat it like a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? But unless you have someone that is of low self-esteem, low self-worth, then they're not going to remain in that type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to just sit up and tell your wife what she's supposed to do, what she's not supposed to do. That's not what it is. You bring your wife in because she's there to help you, and you're there to help her. So it doesn't make sense if you think you know everything and you want to control everything, then that means you need to be by yourself.
And my thing is with the partnership is it's a pair of people engaged together in the same activity. So that doesn't say that the man rules everything, even though traditionally the man has the final say so, but it depends on how you run the house, because I have the final say so in mind. However, if her idea just happened or her way just happened to be more beneficial or more feasible to us, I sway, my final decision is her decision. Because I'm not just gonna take what I say and then the whole family flop because I made the bad decision. I'm gonna listen, and then when we're gonna talk about it and we think about it. So it's even though I say per se in mine, I'm the nucleus and the final kind of say so on what we do. But when she comes to me and it makes, it makes sense, and it's more feasible, because I'm a logical thinker. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna think logically about any moves that we make. Chess, not checkers. So, okay, and he said no on, I guess, what you were saying, Austin.
Well, I mean, it's to each his own. So, yeah,
You're not partners, even though you're engaged in the same partnership. Partner means either of a pair of people engaged together in the same activity. That's what a partner is. Now, whether just like you have a president, you have a CEO, you have a president,
you have a CFO, you have,
and they're all in business together because it's engaged together to do the same activity, and that's run that company or that business. Same thing with a relationship. And since a lot of the modern people say marriage is a business, so you have a partner. Anybody that you're not doing solo, that you're not sole proprietorship, you have a partner. Whether that person put the money up and you do the legwork, whether that person is behind the scenes and you're the face of the company. L.A. Reid and Babyface, they were partners. Okay. So even though we know Babyface and very few people knew L.A. Reid, even though he was one of the hottest writers amongst the partnership, but we knew Babyface because he was an artist. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, partners. So in a marriage, that whoever you decide to take on, whether it's monogamy, whether you're doing the polygamy, it's still partners within that because you are engaged for in something for the same activity. So it's partners. Now, if you want to take it and say, well, we're partners, but I'm the dominant partner, or I have more control, I have more shares in the business than my CEO, that you're giving yourself the title to do that. But at the end of the day, anyone who you're engaged with and on the same accord to make something happen, that's your partner. So,
and so if it's not a partnership, then what is it, Mr.?
It's a proprietorship and their employees.
Yeah. So I'm not understanding.
That's what he's saying. It's not equal. You're the man. They work under the man. So your wife is not equal to you. Yes, that's not. You're not 50-50. Y'all are not equal. She is beneath you. You have me, and then she's under me on the totem pole.
If that's what builds a person's ego, then I guess so. You know, I don't ego trip. I don't have an issue with my wife suggesting something. I don't have an issue with my wife asking me to do something or not do something, because I'm secure in who I am and what I am. So I know that I provide protection and security in our relationship. So, and I do consider her a partner. Now,
y'all are not equal. Why do you keep saying partner?
Like I said.
So, how do you feel about men telling women what to wear and what not to wear?
I think it's okay.
So, like, if you was about to leave a crib and your man ain't like what you was wearing, and like he was like, take it off, would you change?
I would change it. That's daddy. You got to do what he say.
So, why do you feel like some women don't like to listen to a man like that?
I mean, they just got to grow up. You feel me?
Straight up.
Straight up.
And I was shocked looking at what I think her age is, and for her saying that. But it depends on how you were raised, and that's more of a traditional. And you very seldom find that. But I feel majority of the ones that we see with all this masculine, feminine energy, I think deep down they want what that video just showed, but the men don't take them serious like that. And
I don't listen to no woman that calls her boyfriend a man daddy. That just disturbs me. But anyway.
But when he putting it down, what about Zaddy with a Z? Zaddy be putting it down.
Anything. No, because it's just a whole psychological thing to me.
Right.
You know, whatever. You know.
Well, hey, I be, oh my God, I be called Jesus. I be,
Yeah, that's all
so
cool.
Being Zaddy, that's just another, another nickname, I guess. Compared to when you compare to Jesus and God, I mean Zaddy. I mean,
well, I don't think it's them calling you Jesus or God, but they're calling on Jesus and God.
I don't know. When they say Jesus, and I be thinking, oh my God. So I be like, but anyway, that's we getting out. But like we saying, let's see, because y'all getting too way out. Let's see. He said that. What was this?
What you think men thinking? Just because you can put on panties and bra and you got.
Now this is the one I want the ladies to take their time and listen to.
Calm your nerves.
And it's when he come on here and he's explaining all the women that we see that's on these Instagrams, that's on the social media sites, the OnlyFans, that all of a sudden wants to start dating. And he breaks it down on how men really, really, really think when we see these women in person, when we do finally get in the DM and they say, let's go out today, let's get to know each other.
What you think men thinking? Just because you can put on panties and bra and you got 20 million likes, you know what I'm saying? You got 150 DMs per every one of them DMs, every one of them likes is trying to hit. They don't care what your name is. They don't care what you're going through. They don't care about none of that. When they take your ass out, all they see is naked ass. No matter what you got on, it can be -30 outside. They know you from your Instagram, and all they see is naked ass. So quit with that, bro. Quit. It ain't no in between, bro. If I go on your page, bro, and 80% of your fucking pictures is you in bra and panties or something seductive, bro. What you think men thinking?
Most of the time, men thinking that anyway. I don't care what you
Yeah,
got
but if that's all they're showing, that's basically on his mind. And so that's why a lot of times
dude, it's gonna be
men,
on your mind regardless. If you see this chick that has a nice shape, nice ass, nice tits, look good, smell good, and seem like she tastes good, then that's all that's gonna be on your mind. That's the first thing come to your mind. The first thing don't come in. Oh, I wonder how she thinks. I wonder how is she emotionally secure. That's not what you think. You be like, man, I want to go and touch that.
yeah, but if they're not advertising,
They don't have to advertise. I mean, their appearance is their advertisement. Your imagination is going to take you there regardless. You can be in church and clapping and praising and doing a holy dance, but if you see that chick, that nice one, sister so and so,
right? Sister daughter.
then your mind gonna go there because that's how men think. That's how
But
men see women.
my thing is, let a man think that because he wants to think that and not because you want him to think that. And that's the issue that I try to preach to him.
If a woman's wearing a form-fitting dress or those lit spandex tights that they be walking around here in, leggings, whatever, then your imagination is still gonna go there. Okay, but so your imagination is still gonna go there.
Yeah, but they go there quicker when they advertising nakedness and showing everything. I'd rather see a woman. I'm not going to choose the woman that's dressing provocative or loosely.
So
She's not going to be no
what
one.
about in a bathing suit?
So what?
What about it? What if you're at a beach and they're in a two-piece bathing suit? A two-piece bathing suit is nothing but a bra and panties.
Right. I mean, the beach is cool, but when they're out in public or out at a function and I see them advertising,
I mean,
that's a turnoff.
If it's in a club setting, you know how people dress going to the club these days.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then you have these lit what they call them, the lit maxi dresses or whatever the freak you call them. And then you have some of those that are form fitting. You can see if they have on a G-string, full panties, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or even no panties. So your mind is gonna go there automatically.
I mean, yeah, if you're a man, and like the preachers used to say, I'm a man first, you know.
And that's why a lot of them been getting caught up lately.
That's what you see. But I respect a woman that I can look at and imagine what it looks like and what it'll be like compared to one that on social media showing everybody. Kind of like when the lady said her husband was like, change your attire because you're looking a little too good, and I want that to be something that I'm privileged to see and not the world. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, I'm not gonna go like you and I are alike in that sense, where we don't want everyone to see what we have at home, right? But
right.
our women have nice shapes, right?
Right.
So people are going to see that because all their clothes aren't going to be baggy. They're not going to be in sweats all the
Right.
time.
But what about them wearing like the girl on the flyer?
No, I mean, I don't have a woman that dresses like that.
Right. And so that's my thing too. And like I don't choose that. Just like the women with the BBLs. I don't want no one with no goddamn BBL. If
And
you
again,
wasn't naturally born with that or going to the gym, getting that out, and that don't move me. And majority of the men, it don't move them. The BBL things do not move them. But yet these women dying, going up under that knife, and all that to get these shapes for things that men don't care about.
I love stretch marks.
You say?
That's if your girl is. Well, that's the first thing I agree with that you said.
Yeah, it's protecting, but you get some women that say that man is insecure and he's controlling. And a woman is a reflection of a man. I'm thinking I played that and that's not what that man looks. But like I say, when you're married, it's kind of different.
Your husband is not insecure or controlling you when he tells you he doesn't want you in revealing clothes or booty shorts or hanging out with your girlfriends all night. It's called loving you and caring about you and protecting you. I don't know where we get this idea that when we become married to our husbands, that he doesn't get to tell us how we should dress or where we should go. That's his job. And when you don't submit to that, what you're saying is that you have on a size 12 diaper and you need to grow up. That's what marriage is about. You can't do the things you were doing as a single woman, as a married woman. Remember that today.
Yep, and I agree with that. I don't see where she said anything wrong. And
Yeah, and that's why I
again,
say married men and women have more say so than those who play in house. And I know I'm probably stepping on a lot of men who feel like they're running their women apartments and things because they moved in with her or her house, they moved in. But like Austin was saying, that doesn't make you man of the house when you're in your woman's house
it
and
just makes you a man in the house.
you're a man in the house. And some men, especially of today, are comfortable with that title.
What's up,
Because-
my guys? I have a controversial question for you today. Should you be able to tell your girl what to wear? Here's my take. Yes and no. Listen before you jump down my throat. You shouldn't expect a girl that's used to going to the club every Friday in club wear to make a life adjustment at the second you start to date. Respect builds over time, and you can't expect a lifestyle shift when you haven't made one yourself. But you should expect your girlfriend to respect you in the way that she carries herself publicly. Now, I know this sounds like some cult-like shit at the surface, so stay with me. A woman who's secure in her relationship and has respect for her partner should not be dressing for the eyes of other men. There's a time and place for that, your single life. And let me beat the women to it. I don't buy the, but I'm dressing for myself garbage. Walking around and feeling the gaze of men as I walk past doesn't necessarily feel empowering to me. I'll end it with this. You shouldn't ever have to tell your girl what to wear. You should just feel respected in the way that she carries herself. If you don't, and this topic is a constant battle, I don't think this relationship is the one for you. You can command respect without being controlling.
Yep, and I agree with what she said because, and that was something I was going to bring up also. If you met your girl and she was dressing a certain way, right? Then, and this is what her closet looks like. So you can't expect her to jump in a nice pantsuit, all of a sudden.
Or to cover up.
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying
cover up
going
like
to the
that.
club. If
Yeah.
she's used to wearing club attire, showing everything, the breast and everything, it's nothing, that you can really say. That's who she is and what she is. So
And see, and that's where when we were talking about you can't change people, people change for you. Then if she respects you in that relationship or he respects you in that relationship, then they would do the things that are representative of respect. and they'll make that change themselves.
Yeah, and like I say, the guy, like I was telling you, with the guy that blocked me, the wife likes hanging with friends and going out now, when she never used to do that. And when I suggested that, maybe they need to, since he tried everything to try to get her to stay in the house and hang with him, she don't want to do that. So I suggested maybe it's just time y'all kiss and say goodbye. And he just lost his mind when I said that. But once that respect is gone, it's time to leave him alone, especially if you're trying to hit him. So that's why I say if you got to beat him, you don't need him. So,
should your man have a say on what you wear outside the house?
No, absolutely not.
Elaborate.
I feel like as long as you're secure with your woman, it doesn't matter what she wears. So if your girl goes out, she got her boobs out, whatever, if that's what she wants to wear, I feel like you should be comfortable enough to know that your girl's a bad bitch and she wants to go outside and look nice.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Monasia?
I'm a lover girl. Like, I'm a relationship kind of girl. So I have
about to disagree. I love it.
Just a little bit. Only because at the end of the day, it's a respect factor.
Heard you. Talk to him.
It's not, I don't think he more so has to say so, but he should speak up. Like, if you see something that you don't like, and especially if we're going out together or separate, at the end of the day, I'm a representation of you. So if we're together,
music to my ears.
If I'm stepping wrong, you gotta tell me. I expect it, and I expect me to be able to say the same thing.
Perfect.
Now, the thing that gets me with that one is women not wanting to be held accountable. Okay. She said her key thing was not that he have to have a say, not that I feel like he had a say so, but if he said, that's called a say so. But it's the wording of it. Well, he shouldn't have a say so, but if he has a problem, I think there's something wrong with what I'm wearing, and he comes to me, that's the same thing as a fucking say so. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to tiptoe around words with certain women just to, that's the only thing that kind of peed me off about that one. What she said was cool, but then she said, well, not that he has a say so, but if he sees something and he don't want me this and that, that's the say so. But the one who said no is probably single. And if she's not single, she's in a relationship where she's probably a side, and it's not a serious relationship, because she's like, she want to go somewhere with her boobs out, and that could be her. But like, is that MC Lovin 44 or Mac Lovin 44? Like you said, it's a respect thing. And you can't expect a woman who's been clubbing all her life to all of a sudden want to be at home. And I tried that years ago, and I learned that if a person is changing because you want them to change, that's not going to work. I want whoever I choose, you do you and you be you. And then I need to see who you're about. Let me decide if that's what I want to deal with or be involved with. Don't change for me. Don't stop doing none of your habits for me.
That old saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but a hoe can decide to turn into a housewife. You just have to decide if you want it. If you want that.
She have to decide. Boy, you crazy. But that's true though. She have to decide. You can't force a man or a woman to change. They have to want to do that themselves. And I think I got one more, and then we're gonna land it. Did I play
story time? When a man,
yeah, played him. Okay, I think that's damn near about it. But yeah, men. I feel like my closing. I feel like if you're married, and it depends on how traditional your woman is if you're not married, and how much she respects you and herself. Because I feel like these days, men are very disrespectful. They're not gonna respect you. They damn sure not gonna respect your mate. And I feel like the way you dress alters a man's perception and thoughts, and possibly how he's gonna treat you. Because if I see a woman and she may be one of the top strippers at the strip joint, but if I meet her in her attire, business attire, or just wearing respectful clothes, not showing everything or not seeking attention, I'm going to treat her a little different than I would the one who's walking around with her boobs out, walking around with the spandex or the fishnet thing covering up her thong with her breast out, are those outfits where they don't have any panties on, because you look at the side of the it may be a thong on, and sometimes you don't even, but the ones that be walking around with those that look like they ain't got no drawers on. So it's like those are not the ones that attract me. And so I feel like you need to date a person or marry a person that's not doing, that's not doing what you don't like them to do. So if you don't like a woman that dress skimpy, if that's a problem, then don't pursue that person. Find one that respects her body, respects herself, and that's who you be with. Don't try to change a person. Like you say, if she's going to the club every night, every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and some Sundays, $2 Tuesday, and she turned up, you can't expect her to have a wardrobe full of respectable clothes if all she wears skimpy clothes going to the club. So to eliminate all of that, and like the lady said, you shouldn't have to ask your mate, especially your wife, you shouldn't have to ask them. But I understand that every now and then we'll get caught up on what's cute, what looks good. Because like I said, on my way to the gym, Mom might say, "Oh, so you wearing that to the gym?" So what we feel is harmless is just a wife beater. It's just a cut off t-shirt. I'm going to go work out. We can get to, comfortable, and we know what the intentions are. We're just going to work out and come on. Just like she may just be going to the store to get butter, and you may not like the spandex or whatever that was around the house attire, and she just running real quick to go get that, and didn't feel like going upstairs, getting dressed, and putting on a shirt and some joggers and going. But then you be like, hey, so like she hit me with the gym thing. I say, hey, you wearing it to the stove, So it's the respect. At the end of the day, it boils down to respect. But like I say, just we saw on a podcast we did last year, a guy was bragging on he wanted his woman to go out there looking like that. She ended up sleeping with a few of them in the results of that, but he liked his woman going out there looking, like a hooker, I guess you could say. So that's my overall take on the attire. I just feel like if you're married, you have more say so, and if you're not, you really don't. And if you do want more of that, put a ring on it. What do you think about it, Austin?
You mostly said it all, so I'm gonna keep mine simple. Women, your boyfriend can't tell you what to wear, but women, on the other hand, your husband shouldn't have to tell you what you can and can't wear.
All righty. And then I'm gonna play this last one because he kind of broke it down, and I want the ladies to kind of listen. Men should already know this, but ladies, check it out. This is the closing one, and it was one more, but this one is cool right here. I'm gonna go ahead and let this one roll. Check it out.
Why should men tell me what I can and cannot wear? If I want to look sexy, then why is it my fault that men can't control themselves? You're absolutely right. A man's failure to behave himself is not your fault. That said, be careful. Devilish people often dress up as angels, and sometimes we don't discover that until it's too late. So be careful luring men with temptation. If you got him with temptation, you will lose him to temptation. So if you're someone who's dealt with multiple liars and cheaters, you have to look within and honestly ask yourself, is there something that I'm doing that either A, isn't protecting myself, or B, is attracting the wrong type of person? And the sad reality is that it might be the way you dress. Because while honorable men look away, dishonorable men walk up and say hello.
Well, I agree with most of what he said, but I'm gonna look. But that don't mean I want it.
You what?
I say I might look, but that don't mean I want it.
Nah. I mean, I don't even do that. I just be chilling.
Me
It's
too.
like,
My wife
yeah,
is my everything. So I don't even care.
oh no. I was in and out on this one. I didn't I was in and out on this one. And then after this, we're gonna shut it down. But we just try to give a little education on here.
To understand is there are a lot of weird and desperate men out there, and us as men know these threats. So when your man is telling you, I don't want you wearing that, it's because he knows the dark side of the world. You can't control these weirdos and predators out there, but you can control what you wear and how the world perceives you. The reality is that life can be a cold place, and it's not life's job to understand how you work. You owe it to yourself to understand how life works.
So it's not a insecurity thing when the man says that. It depends on the mentality of the man that you're involved with. And if that man, because at the end of the day, if he's seriously with you, he's the protector. And you don't want to be out there and one of these weirdos approach you some type of way, and then you're looking for your man to step up and defend your honor when you're disgracing your honor by your attire. So I understand that it's the way to go now, but with, like the guy say, with the weirdos out there, and I know it's not fair that you just can't wear what you want to wear, especially out in public without someone of a male figure watching your back. So just be careful on what you wear. I understand social media and these reality shows got everybody wanting to dress skimpy and naked and to feel sexy. But feeling sexy doesn't necessarily have to be naked. They have decent clothes that you could wear to make you feel sexy without being so revealing and inviting the world to what your man, your mate, your husband should just only be seen. You know, you don't, the new generation don't leave anything for imagination. We kind of know what we're getting, which makes it less exciting. But on that note, with that being said, men, you shouldn't have to tell your women, your women, what to wear. You shouldn't have to. Even though, like I say, sometimes we get comfortable and we think it's cute and it's not showing anything. But if your mate is uncomfortable. Unfortunately, you have to adjust if that's the respect level in your household. And married, I feel have more leeway and say so than ones that's out there playing house. But at the end of the day, that boils down to how you were raised and how you guys run the household and what's comfortable. But with all that being said, till next week, we out. And I always end it with, it's happening out there, so we might as well speak on it. And shout out to Austin. Shout out to the guy who was texting us, MC, 44. Shout out to him. He kept it kind of jumping tonight with his old school. But and everybody else that tuned in, that was popping in, checking us out tonight. Check out the replays. We got a lot of things going on. Next week, we'll be back, same time, same channels. So get at me. And with that being said, peace. I'm out.
What you think, man? I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is, mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is? Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, this complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told them, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father have that? Is that a protection for me? Right. Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed. Right. So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time, they are absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is a rejection.
But see, I understand with my father.
Men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I told Miss that. I mean, I know Rick James. You know, I know. You know, I mean, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm just gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.